Hello, my friends. Today, the most challenging battles continue across the entire front line. In various directions, there is again advancement by the Russians. But let's start with the Kherson direction. Here, although the Russians continue shelling the right bank, the daily losses are taking a toll. In their attempt to storm the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in the village of Krynky, they have already started hesitating and refraining from launching new assaults. This information comes from Russian war correspondents.
Note: of course, we knew that there were such cases in other groups of troops, but somehow we refused to believe that this would be the case in our Dnipro military headquarters. Today, the personnel of one of the battalions of the 328th Air Assault Regiment of the 104th Air Assault Division refused to take part in the assault on the village of Krynky. Now there is an investigation into this, but it seems to us that the main reason for this is that even ordinary paratroopers understand the uselessness of these assaults on the village of Krynky with the complete superiority of the enemy in small aviation, electronic warfare and artillery.
And this, once again, proves that the armed forces of Ukraine are successfully repelling all attacks, with the occupiers facing losses every day. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, today the Russians intensified their assaults on the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in the areas of Robotyne and Verbove. At the same time, the Russians started claiming that they managed to dislodge our troops from several positions and supposedly advanced 700 meters.
In the area of the village of Verbovo, our troops knocked the enemy out of the positions occupied by him 2 months ago during the so-called counteroffensive and advanced 700 meters deep into the defense of the Kokol. The territory was cleared, the Tigers gained a foothold in the occupied area. An important tactical victory that will further complicate the enemy's already hopeless position on the Zaporizhzhia front.
Certainly, it's not advisable to blindly believe these claims, but in any case, we see that there is a struggle for each position. The fact that positions are changing hands is acknowledged even by the armed forces of Ukraine. There are no significant changes in the front line again within the day, and essentially the front line remains unchanged. In the Vuhledar direction, the armed forces of Ukraine successfully repelled all Russian attacks in the Priutne area. The front line remains unchanged, and today the Russians are conducting artillery shelling along the entire front line without attempting new attacks. In the Avdiivka direction, as of yesterday evening, the situation has stabilized. The armed forces of Ukraine are causing such powerful damage to the Russians that they have started another regrouping. Currently, there are offensive actions reported in Bakhmutivka. Shelling is reported in other populated areas, but there are no changes along the front line within the day. Therefore, the armed forces of Ukraine continue to successfully hold the defense, even though it's challenging under today's weather conditions. In the Marinka area, shelling is reported, but there is no information about new offensive actions. Battles are taking place in the Kreminna-Siversk and Novomykhailivka areas. Russian advancement closer to the village are confirmed, and it's evident that they have reached the outskirts. They managed to shift the front line approximately 1 kilometer, and the battles are ongoing near the farm. It's located within the populated area, indicating that Russians have entered the village, as confirmed by the updated map. As for Marinka, there are conflicting reports today. Some say that city has been captured, while others claim it is under the control of the armed forces of Ukraine, at least the outskirts. Okay, now moving to the Bakhmut direction. Unfortunately, the Russians have achieved successes here again. They managed to push our units out of the area near Avdiivka and Yagidne, and now the front line runs near Bogdanivka, Khromovo and Ivanivske. Today, difficult battles are reported near Ivanivske. Their advance is approximately 4 kilometers. Overall, as the armed forces of Ukraine stated in recent days, from this direction, it's clear that the front line is heading towards Chasiv Yar, which is very unfortunate. Additionally, as seen on the map, the Russian advance near Klishchiivka is also confirmed. Today, the front line has changed and their confirmed advance is about 1 kilometer 200 meters. Battles are reported in the Avdiivka area and shelling continues along the entire front line and in the rear, including Konstantinivka. In the Kreminna and Siversk areas, fighting has resumed. After their nightly map update, it appears that the Russians have managed to advance in the forest. Yesterday evening, the General Staff reported ongoing battles in this area. The Russian advance here is almost 7 kilometers. However, this progression likely didn't happen all at once, and gradual tactical successes led to this change along the front line. So this can be considered an adjustment to the map. Today, there are also battles reported in the Yampolivka area. All the Russian attacks near Makivka didn't bring them success, so now they have changed the direction of their attacks. So let's see what happens this time. In the direction of Svatovo, the Russians continue shelling Berestove, but there are no new offensive actions and the situation remains unchanged. In the direction of Kupyansk, besides the battles for Sinkivka, it's reported that the Russians are attempting to break through beyond the highway to establish a foothold and cut it off entirely. Whether they will succeed in doing so remains to be seen in the near future. However, the fact that they are moving towards Kupyansk as much as possible is evident. Meanwhile, Putin is hosting a direct line today where he answers questions from average Russians. The level of censorship on these questions can only be assumed. While Putin patiently discusses that Russia didn't ruin relations with Europe and the US, putting the blame on them, a message appears on the screen, sent in by people. We gave gas to Europe, we gave gas to China. When will gas be given to Kakhassia, a Russian region? The camera hastily returns to Putin and his statements.
Что касается нормализации отношений, это зависит не только от нас. Мы не портили же эти отношения. Это с нами портили отношения, и нас пытались все время задвинуть куда-то на второй, третий план, пренебрегая нашими интересами. Ну, вот конфликт, который произошел на Украине, он с чего начался? Давайте вспомним, чтобы точку поставить, чтобы конфликт создать. Вот зачем. Это кто делал? Американские наши дружки. А европейцы, которые подписались как гаранты договоренности между властью и оппозицией, сделали вид, что вообще ничего не знают. И сейчас спросите в Европе, кто-нибудь помнит об этом? Нет. Но мы не забыли. И не забудем. Вот это, плюс безудержное стремление подползти к нашим границам, захватив и Украину в НАТО, все это привело к этой трагедии. Плюс, значит, кровавые события на Донбассе в течение 8 лет. Все это привело к трагедии, которую мы сейчас переживаем. Они вынудили нас на эти действия. Вот в этих условиях, когда я говорю, США задумали и организовали, а Европа стоит и молча на это смотрит. Либо подыгрывает, подпевают им там. Значит, ну как с ними выстраивать отношения? Мы за. Мы же ничего не рвали. Но они сделали вид, что они этого ничего не знают и не помнят. Только 2-3 раза упомянули о том, что Минские соглашения подписывали понарошку и не собирались выполнять. Вот эти, значит, гарантии договоренности между властью и оппозицией в Украине в 2014 году вроде как, между прочим, подписали, и тут же о них забыли и наплевали на них.
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.